Thank you very much. First of all, thank you, Speaker Pelosi, for, and I just have to say this, for being such a global leader. And we were able and privileged to witness you on the global stage. So it was quite amazing, and thank you for putting together such a diverse grouping of members from a variety of committees for this congressional delegation. Our congressional delegation, of course, we went to Munich Security Summit to make clear that we remain fully committed to maintaining the unity with our European allies, as we now witness as it relates to how democracies around the world are under attack, specifically with Ukraine now. The Congress continues to address the domestic threats to our democracy, such as, but not limited to, campaigns of mis- and disinformation. And we remain unified in addressing threats to democracies around the world. And we see this unity in our efforts to prevent Russia from invading Ukraine through robust diplomatic initiatives, but we all know that authoritarian regimes around the world will stop at nothing to dismantle democratic values, and nobody is exempt, no country is exempt, including the United States. I was struck by what was written on the back of the chairs during the general session. The wording was peace through dialogue. All of our European allies embraced that notion throughout the entire conference. In each of our meetings, the threat was discussed, as well as the need to invest in and prioritize the role of diplomacy in seeking security and peace. Vice President Harris and Secretary Blinken both underscored the fact that they have engaged in robust diplomatic initiatives and that democracy remains the essential defense against accelerating forces of autocracy and illiberalism around the world. And that's why defending democracy, both at home and abroad, must be an urgent national security priority. Madam Speaker mentioned the fact that I do chair the House Appropriations Subcommittee on State and Foreign Operations, which oversees many of the resources to assist the Ukrainian people through this crisis. This includes economic assistance to Ukraine, including loan guarantees. Economic assistance would come through the economic support accounts or for Europe, Eurasia, and Central Asia. Those are the accounts they would come through. Without getting in too many of the weeds, I wanted to just mention that because it's an effort that we're looking at now in terms of our funding. Also, it includes humanitarian funds, including funding for refugees, God forbid, and for those internally displaced by conflict. The administration has committed to us that in the event of conflict, there is a need over the next 12 months of at least $1 billion for humanitarian needs. And so I support the efforts of the administration also to bolster Ukraine's economy, including the proposed $1 billion in loan guarantees to continue with Ukraine's economic reforms. The SFOPS bill for years has carried authorities for the administration to provide loan guarantees for select countries, including Ukraine. In fiscal 22, the House passed SFOPS bill again. It carries this important authority. Also, in terms of addition to our meetings on global security, Madam Speaker mentioned the meeting with the Secretary General of the World Health Organization to discuss our next steps in addressing the global crisis pandemic. And as we speak, we're attempting to negotiate now an increase in terms of our global investment to address the COVID crisis. Of course, our subcommittee oversees the COVID-19 response, and we all know that we're not safe at home until everyone is safe abroad. That's why we must invest in resources for low-income countries to distribute vaccines, access testing, care, and health infrastructure to keep people safe across the globe. So yes, this was an incredible, productive delegation, and I want to thank Speaker Pelosi once again for organizing it in such an impressive manner with such an impressive group. Thank you again, Speaker Pelosi.
Vladimir Putin has invaded Ukraine.